Guys, BW here. We're back out in the garage. We're making a few more changes with our cooling system. I'm putting out shorts, just churning them out. But a lot of you guys that don't watch it, I figured I'd bring you in, show you what's going on, and give a better explanation as to why I'm doing it. Let me pull you down off the storm here and I'll show you what's up. All right, I've been doing a lot of reading, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change the radiator cap. I know this is an AC Delco 15 pound, and that's exactly what we want for our system. I don't know. This came with the radiator. It's some Chinese stuff. It could be the right one. I don't know. It says 1.1 there, and it's got the letter S there. This AC Delco one looks better, and the way I'm led to understand is it changes the boiling point, so it may help in the cooling. So we're going to change that. I've already dropped the fluid down out, because the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this radiator hose off, the lower radiator hose. I have this one here that has the old-fashioned, remember back in the day, it has a spring in there. I can't prove that this thing is closing up a little bit. It's kind of a soft hose, but it has the potential to close up, and you know, because it's like sucking like a straw, think about, and it could restrict the flow, and that could be causing heating problems. So we're going to change that. And lastly, I'm going to put the thermostat back in. All right, I read an article on it, and I know we're not running emissions, and they run them hotter because of all that kind of stuff, but one of the benefits for cooling of a thermostat is it restricts the flow just enough so that the fluid spends just a little more time in the radiator and you get a better heat transfer. All right, so this is a 180, so I feel like we're all right. Our engine cooler turns on at 170 or 175, so we're really close there. So those are the three changes I'm going to make, and after I've made them, provided it don't rain, I'm going to shoot down to my buddy's shop, and we're going to put this up on the lift, and I want to look at that clutch fluid leak that's under there again, get that cleaned up. I think we got it, but I just want to make sure. I saw it's still a little damp under there, and I think that just might be residuals. So my buddy Kevin said they'll be done in the shop and I can come down around 5. So I'll bring you guys in for that too, provided we get down there. I don't know if you guys noticed, we have a different air cleaner on there. Phil had this out in his shed, and he said, "Hey man, just come get it, you can have it." He's a great guy. We had a backfire, and these Elderbrox, I bought a new element for it, but it's like, man, if I even put that on, the element's just going to melt just like the last one, because it backfired and put a big hole right in the middle of that element. So it's a wall hanger now. Those things are a fire hazard. I've been reading about that too. So we're really happy. This one looks really cool, right? I don't know. All right, well, let me get this thermostat dropped back in, and let me pull this bottom hose off, and then we'll see where we're at after that. I got a little bit more on the floor than I wanted to. I tried to get the bucket there to catch it, but we got a little bit. Let's get that mess cleaned up. All right, we got this wrestled on. Now we'll just tighten up on these clamps and leave it at that. Like I say, I feel a lot better having that spring in there. Yeah, it's not a perfect 90, but it's the only hose I could find that was close. I had to cut it down a little bit, and it has the spring. So, and it was a little longer too, so we got a little extra spring if we ever come across that again. Hey, let's get this gooseneck off of here. You guys saw me do this. I think we did this together on Friday. Maybe we did it on a live together. But hey, we needed to get a little bit, we're gonna try new stuff to try to get the cooling down. I don't want to mislead anybody. After everything I've read, they say a performance big block, they say you can expect them to run anywhere between 195 and 224. We've been running around 210, and I've seen it as high as 215 once. So we're not overheating. I'm just trying to get us as cool as I possibly can. And my next move, if as the summer progresses, if we get even hotter because of the temperatures and you know, of summertime and everything, it's at that point we'll start looking for a big honking radiator, and if we need one. All right, but I don't foresee that. All right, so there we go. Everything seems right there. Thermostat back in. All right, we got the thermostat dropped back in. We got the hose changed. And also, another thing I was reading, I may have had a little too much radiator fluid in there. From what I was reading, they say you want about an inch below the gooseneck. I was close to that, maybe a little higher than that. Phil runs his even lower. He runs them right above the core in there, so he's about an inch above his core. So I'm wondering, how much fluid do you run in yours? I mean, let me know in the comments. All right. I have to go around the other side. Let's get this bolted up. All right, guys. Well, we got the thermostat back in. We got the bottom radiator hose changed. We're going to fill this thing back up with fluid. And then we're going to put the new radiator cap on, and we'll see how that goes. All right, guys, well, I got the 15-pound cap on there. I feel a lot better about that. That's what's rated for this motor. We'll see if it makes a difference. I don't know. I always strain my coolant when I put it back in. Look at all that crap in there. I think that's powder coat from this thing. But found that interesting. I mean, the coolant was brand new. I'm not going to throw it out, but I do strain it before I put it back in. My buddy Kevin just called up. He told me I can come down with the car right now, so we're gonna head down. So I'm just going to conserve on battery until I get down. Temperature hasn't gone up past about 208. Really happy with that. We're keeping an eye on it. It's a little late in the day. We'll get it on the high reach next time, or the lift the next time. All right. I will say this, it never got above 208, 210. So that's pretty awesome, man. We're going to go with that. We're going to hope that solves it. The wrap, man, I went for a ride to try to smoke it off. Oh my goodness, did that wrap smoke when we first started it up. All right, I'll get you guys back on back at the house. right, guys, well, we're letting it cool down. You guys can hear I let the fans run for a few minutes. I'm eventually going to look into seeing about getting a secondary electric water pump that'll run whenever it shuts off. I'm just like flirting with the idea. I don't know. I mean, but it's not overheating. It's we sat in traffic, we idled here, and we idled down my buddies, and it never got above 210. So I don't feel like it's overheating. We're gonna have to see how it goes as the summer progresses, and then we get into the hotter weather and see how it does. But for right now, we're okay. I mean, I did a lot of research on this cooling, and it's not uncommon for a big block Chevy to run between 190 and 225, they say. So we're at 210. We got a little bit of a performance cam in there and stuff like that. I don't know that we're going to do much better, but like I say, if it starts creeping up higher and higher, that's when we'll start looking at the big radiator and all that stuff. But I think we're in pretty good shape right now. I actually believe that radiator cap made the biggest difference. I don't know, but that's where I'm at on the gasser. I'm going to work on getting this thing cleaned up for Sunday's car show, and it'll be fun to do that, and I'll obviously show you guys. You guys can see I got the license plate, the antique license plate. This is an antique now. It's tagged that way, insured that way, and dusk till dawn driver. All right, but that's where we're at with the car. Let me go out front. I want to show you guys that don't watch shorts a couple things that's been going on with the C30, and then we'll wrap this video up. Around front, we've been messing around with the C30 a little bit. We got all the power steering, high pressure and return lines, the pump changed. We finally got the third and final belt on there. Like I said, we're just methodically going through this thing. Next, we're going to do the radiator hoses, get those done. Anything that's rubber, we're going to get replaced. Initially, I thought I was going to have to pull this apart and change the front seal, because you can see how it's wet right here. But my buddy Kevin pointed out that, hey, the cap, and he popped it off, and sure enough, it's corroded all around there. So it's just seeping at the cap a little bit. So we're going to get a new cap, a master cylinder cap, and hope that solves it, and we'll get this dried up. I did do a power wash job on it so that we could look at it really good. I took it down to the bubbles, and I sprayed some stuff on it, because there was just, from the leaks off through all those years, it was just gunked up everywhere. We also, when I was down my buds earlier today, see, I go down there with all my junk. Them guys are so nice to me, and we tightened up Kevin actually tightened up the valve cover in the back. He felt like it was really loose, so that might solve that leak. Save those valve cover gaskets for a rainy day. But yeah, that's what we're working on, the C30 piece by piece. I may actually ask my son, I might clean it up, and I may ask my son to drive it over to the car show so I could put it beside the gasser. Why not, man? I mean, we haven't really done much to it. Well, we got a new exhaust. We're methodically going through the paces. I mean, it doesn't look like no show car, but I like it. I'd look at it if it was at the car show. So I might bring it and the gasser on Sunday and have some fun. I'll see if my son's busy. I don't know. The only problem is if I do take it to the show, that means I got to pull it out of the driveway, and Kim's going to see this oil mess right here in the front, and it's a mess. I know I can get it cleaned right up, but it's still funny. I'm going to get yelled at. Well, it's not funny. It's funny for you guys, but not me. All right. So, that's what's been going on. I would have done this job a lot faster and maybe made a video aside from shorts while I did it. But the problem is, guys, it was raining nonstop. So I just come out here and I do a hose, maybe two hoses, a half a hose in between the rain until we got it knocked out. And yeah, we got it, like I said, we're having fun with it. So one thing at a time. So that's what's going on with this beast. All right. That's really about all I've got to report. We got a bunch of content coming up in the next couple weeks. I just started messing around with the Nova, and I want to start getting that floor pans and inside quarters patched up, and then we'll move on to bigger and better things on that, because we're going to have a lot of fun with that Nova this summer, messing around, changing quarter panels and rebuilding it a little bit. Have some fun. All right, so that's it for BW's Garage this week. I'll go in and edit this out and put it up. It's kind of like a fly-by-night video, but I'm a fly-by-night kind of guy. All right, so until next time, take care, everybody.